That's alright, I can live with that. How's everyone doing? As always, if you want some more information, see when I'm streaming and talk to us live, check my about info for a link to our Discord. I've started posting up my ingredient lists as well. Hey, subby's having a pretty chilled one. Nice. I'm trying. Very hard. Alright, so we've got some baby spuds, carrots, onions, quarter of a pumpkin, lemon, and I'll just grab the chook. Pièce de resistance. It's been brined overnight in paprika, lots of salt, pepper, garlic powder, brown sugar, warm water, and a generous helping of hot sauce. So there might be a little tiny bit of a vinegary kick in the chook. Alright, so I'll get situated here. Now, chicken boy. Now, I've given it a good pat down. It's always a good idea to, hey, Bucket's in the house. What you doing, buddy? It's always a good idea to pat down the skin of the chicken, make sure it's nice and dry. Also, if you're going to be doing any cutting or prepping, always do it on a separate plate or chopping board, because chickens are poisonous people. They're poisonous. Now, I've got the pumpkin, some bacon, baby potatoes. I'll just move them off to the side. Oop, I'm losing shit everywhere here. First up, chooking. Fixing midget's internet. Tell that boy to go home. Alright. Let's get me bin out of the cupboard. Now I'm happy. So, half of a lemon. Where to put my butter? There it is. So we need a couple of butter sticks. And they're going to get stuffed either side of the breast. Just score up that. Hey Viper, how you going, mate? Stop annoying Bucket. Alright, let's get some butter sticks. Got some olive oil to rub on the skin. Some garlic powder and paprika. The reason why I'm using garlic powder is because crushed garlic, or any sort of garlic, if you're marinating the outside of chicken, tends to burn. So just keep that in mind. Need a spoon. Alright. And I've got some rosemary and thyme here fresh as well. Try not to overcrowd your chopping board like I'm doing. Do as I say, not as I do. Alright. Chalking. Just for a bit more zest, I'm going to zest the outside of this lemon real quick. I'm going to rub the chicken down with it. You can use whatever spice mix you want. on the outside of a chook. Just keep in mind that garlic tends to burn on them, so I'm preheating the oven at 200 degrees because the first 10-15 minutes we're going to have it in there at 200 degrees. Alright, now to get dirty. Oh, I've got something else. Little trick with just move it out of the way. Little trick to keep your chook from cooking unevenly. Mount it in the pan with some onion or something like that to keep it up from the bottom of the pan. Doesn't matter what colour onion you use really, but lost a bit. A bit shaky today. Must be nervous. So we're just going to chuck that in the bottom of the pan like that. Nice little even layer. Put that back aside. Now we get chooky chook chook. I do have some string to tie the legs, as we will be doing that. Don't have to, but it helps them to cook evenly. So a bit of string. Whoop. Alright. First off, get prepared to get a bit dirty. Open her up and just rub some salt inside it. And some pepper because I like pepper. Handy quick wash. Remember, chickens are poisonous. Might just rub the inside with a little bit of paprika as well. I like stuffing me chooks, but this time we're just gonna do the aromats. So your paprika, salt, pepper, lemon, and some herbs. There's a whole nother video on chicken stuffings if you want to do it. So grab your lemon, grab your rosemary and your thyme, and just woof it in there. Like that. Alright, paprika can bugger off. Now comes the extra credit points. Get a spoon. Just here, you just want to separate the skin from the breast. Just gentle. It's a lot easier than it looks. Just don't pierce the skin. Going all the way down the front. Now with another spoon, there it is. We'll shove a little bit of crushed garlic in there and just give it a little splat around. I don't care if I really contaminate this jar too much, because I've got another jar and this one's nearly done. Alright. Butter sticks. This is the 5-point ingredient. Straight up in there. Straight up in there. Voila. You have butter breast implants. Alright. Take it off the paper. My hands are wash again. Remember. Clean hand, dirty hand. We want a clean hand and we want a dirty hand. So we'll give her a generous coating of olive oil. Give it a quick rub over everywhere with it. Alright, on with the salt. On with some pepper. If you've got some powdered sage, go for it. It's a good idea. Chicken and sage were made to be. Alright. Your garlic powder. Doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to give it a good rub in. Good dash of paprika. Lots of paprika. And then we go for the lemon zest. Another squirt of oil. And just give it a good rub. Just to make sure it's all nice and evenly coated everywhere. Make sure you get them legs nice and coated because they're my favourite bit, the legs and the wings. Don't forget, if there's any questions, guys, feel free to ask in the chat. I'm watching closely. Anyone seen Jack yet? No? Bit quiet in there at the moment. Alright. If you really want to muck around with your chook a bit, I've got some barbecue smoke seasoning. I'm going to sprinkle a bit of that on there too. As I said, it's entirely up to you what you put on there. And a couple of little tricks. Tuck the wing under like this. The good stuff, that's right, subby, the good stuff. Bit of barbecue smoke seasoning. Tuck your wings under the bird a little bit. Because they're going to be on the bottom, they won't burn as quick. Especially because we're going to be raising the chicken out of the pan a little bit. So just tuck them in there. And we'll tie this bugger up so its bum doesn't come out. So I always sucked at kitchen tying, so don't friggin' crucify me, people. I wasn't much good at this bit, especially at TAFE. And little trade secret, elastic hairbands work really good for people like me, but I didn't have any elastic hairbands lying around. It's going to be a pain. Cooperate, chicken. Nice and tight. Granny knot. Give the string a little trim. That bird looks happy. Mendoza. Hello, how you going, mate? Good to see ya. Alright, so we've got the spices on, got the rub on. Looks good to me. So she's tied up and trussed, ready to go. Now fill the pan up. Alright. Stick her on the top of the onion in the pan. Get rid of that plate. Wash your filthy chicken hands. Alright. Ow. Now into the pan. We're going to stick some apple cider. Cheers. Apple cider. Where's my stock cup? That one. So some apple cider, a little bit of hot water. And some chook stock. I don't know, I'd say about a tablespoon. Half a cup of hot water. That'll keep the bird moist while we're cooking it, and we also need that for the pan gravy at the end. Delicious. Smells good. Alright, it's be time. Give myself a bit of a clean down, and oven is up to temp. So I've got the oven at 200 degrees. We're going to cook it for about 15 minutes at that temperature. And then we're going to turn the temperature down to 180 and then leave it until we get a nice temperature of about 75 degrees in the thickest parts. I recommend getting a pen thermometer, digital one, for quick testing. They're cheap. Doesn't matter if you wreck it. You only got to poke it in there and get a quick temp reading and you're done. Especially when you cook a chicken, you want to make sure everything's 75 degrees when it's done. Straight in there. Delicious. Give it a quick clean down. And we'll get ready on the veggie prep. Oh, my filthy bench. Can't live like this, jeez. Alright. So we've got some pumpkin and some carrots we've got to parboil a little bit first. Don't forget, guys, any questions, anything you want to know, even if you just need to catch up to where we're up to, just chuck it in the chat. Just scoop out the seed in the membrane. What's my time? Yep. So we got pumpkin. There isn't really a trick to cutting a pumpkin. They're just generally pains in the asses of things to cut. So we're just going to go in. Over there you go. Cut her into some good chunks. Don't have to leave the skin on if you don't want. I just prefer skin left on mine. Chuck them real quick. In a bowl. And we're going to get rid of that. Super speed through a couple of carrots for the cumin roasted carrot. Wrong way, mate. What's happening? Peeling carrots and chopping pumpkin, bucket. Because we're doing the carrots. We've got to parboil the carrots and the pumpkin for, well, the carrots for the cumin roasted carrot, because it'll make them cook a bit quicker, and they won't be raw when they're finished, because we're only sort of going to be in the oven for an hour, hour and a half max. So we need to sort of get everything to come out at the same time. The baby potatoes, they don't need as long in the oven because they're only little fellas. Alright, carrots. To be honest, I should probably do this one too. Cumin roast carrots is something we have with every roast at home. They're just unreal. So they're balsamic vinegar. Ah, you're all good, Subby. They're the carrots, red onion, balsamic glaze or vinegar, cumin, salt, pepper, bit of oil, and away you go. And they're just unreal. Alright. So they're going in some cold water with some salt to speed up the boil. Over on the hot sucker, full pelt. Like any good chef, none of my lids fit. But, you know, it still works. Alright, rest of the veg prep. So we've got some onions. I don't like the bin being far away from me. If you want to keep your veggie scraps, if you want to make veggie stock, for example, really good idea to keep your carrot peels and your onion peel. And we're just going to cut these into rough, big chunky bits so that they don't burn as much. And they'll go in this bowl here. Get mixed up with the carrot later. Get rid of this pumpkin. And set my strainer up. Alright. So we've got to get started on the potatoes. This is a really cool recipe. I haven't tried this one yet. In theory it should be easy enough. We're going to pan fry some bacon to render the fat. And we're going to fry these baby potatoes in them a little bit. And then chuck them all in a roasting pan with some nice fresh rosemary and thyme. Alright, so it's a decent bacon rasher. Don't be a bastard. There we go. Some rough lardons will do for now. I'll just give them an extra chop. I like them nice and crumbly. Alright. Trick with bacon, you want to render the fat, you want it cooked on about medium heat, and you want to start the pan cold. That way you get all the fat out, which is what we're aiming for because we're going to fry the potatoes in it for a little bit with some rosemary and salt and pepper and garlic, and then we're going to chuck them all in a nice little pan. Make me very happy. That's my time. So I'll probably do that chicken at 200 for another 5 minutes and then drop me temp. Okay. So get some more thyme, some more fresh rosemary. A little cut to break them up a bit. I think the kniffy needs a bit of a quick zap to give it a bit of a sharpen too. Honing your knife, because a lot of people do it this way. I got taught by a very well-renowned chef in Brisbane. He was the Queensland chef at the time. He taught me a lot of things like venison, how to cook venison properly. Taught me a bit of Vietnamese food, and he also taught me a bit of knife care. And one of the best suggestions he gave me was to always sharpen your knife away from yourself. Always hone it away from yourself. Alright. What else we got? Hang on. Pan's not hot enough for me. So, we've got the pumpkin and the carrots on the parboil. We're rendering the fat from the bacon. Chicken's already in. So we're most of the way there. The pan gravy, something we'll sort of start a bit later. Probably closer to when the chook's nearly done. Cheers, how's your Sunday everyone? Alright. Actually, it's a bit easier there, so I can hear the pan going. Alright. Another one for Oh geez, I'm running out of dishes here. Chook. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'll just make sure I had enough pans. I'll get the other garlic out. There it is. Sure I've got the balsamic on hand. So this is your Italian glaze. You can get it at most supermarkets. Hang on, that might be better. Knorr Italian glaze. Great for salad dressings, great for marinades. It's a sugary syrup made of balsamic vinegar and sugar basically, and they just reduce it. Saves me a step because it can take a little while. There we go. Bacon's moving now. A couple of other little prep jobs to do too while I'm waiting. Just get some fresh parsley. We're cooking inside today too. I got sick of it being too cold, plus the oven's a bit quicker. Inside doing a roast chook. Alright, chook's been in for about 15 minutes now. Drop the temperature to 180 and it'll be happy. I'll be happy. I'll be happy about my chicken being happy. Okay. Whoa! Nice stir, get all that fat out. Let's jump over to this camera for now. Yeah. Wish I had the fire. I wish I had a fire pit, but it's just been too cold, and I didn't want to do all of this, especially working with. Oh Jesus! Especially working with chicken, I didn't really want to do it outside. Working with a whole chook, so. I'll bash some parsley out real quick. That bacon's nearly done. Thank you for the follow, Gabriel Tybomb. Thank you very much. Stick around, I stream a cooking video every Sunday at 4 PM. Rest of the week it's usually sort of Friday, Saturday night. I'll try and stream some gaming with the guys. We run our own private servers. We're running a Minecraft server and a Conan Exile server if you're interested. Just got to join the Discord, it's in my about info. Ooh, bacon flying everywhere here. Alright, bacon, calm your farm. Just going to try to separate the fat from the bacon a little bit. Never waste anything that tastes as good as bacon fat. That should be enough. Oh, shush. Got a bit of bacon stuck. That could have got a bit smoky. Alright. With the bacon. Grab the garlic and the potatoes. I think the heat's good. On with the baby potatoes. Crank the heat up a little bit. And I'll just get a little bit of stock ready for those spuds. It's a little bit of a hybrid. It's like this recipe is a little bit of a hybrid. It's a bit like fondant potatoes because you're going to be roasting them in stock with the bacon. With my chicken stock. And I'm making a mess again. I'm always making a mess, chef. And I've got to see if I've got a roasting pan that'll fit that. Probably do. Chuck the herbs in as well. Chuck some garlic in, about half a tablespoon. Alright, my veggies have come to the boil too, so we'll drop them off, give them a quick drain. I think we might chuck the pumpkin in with the baby spuds and bacon. I think that would be very, very tasty. What do you reckon? You're a chatty bunch today, far out. Alright. Grab me tongs. Move the stock. Shut off that burner. Move some crap in the sink. Throw the bacon back on top of the spuds. Have to excuse me, I'm just raiding my cupboard and stuffing my cameras up. Can't type while eating ramen. Fair enough, sub, fair enough. Alright. Got myself in a bit of a conundrum here. A mild quandary. Can't pick a decent sized pear, save myself. That's what the dishwasher's for. Alright, in goes the pumpkin too. We'll go inside down so it doesn't stick. Get up there. That'll work. Bit of salt. Bit of cracked pepper. Oh, got a bit of smoke. We'll give her a quick squirt of oil as well. Robert's your father's brother. Hey, oh, runaway spud. Now we're just going to pull this chook out. And we're going to loose cover it with foil too. Slow down the browning a wee bit. Just cooking my microphone. Foil. Oh. Give it a drizzle. All that delicious fat and stock just to keep it protected. And that cider that we chucked in as well. One problem with this roasting pan is it's very hard to get foil to just play with it. We'll just do that. Just even out the cooking a little bit on it. Back in you go, dirty bird. Alright. Next up, we'll mix up our cumin roast carrots. So we've got our parboiled carrots, we've got our diced onion there. Or not diced. I forgot something. Big whoops. Can't have fondant potatoes without stock. Just a little bit like that. Stick it back in. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Bit jittery today. Very jittery. I think it's because I've got to go through a lot on this video, so trying to do it whilst paying attention to what I'm saying and doing. Alright, carrots and onions, second attempt. Bit of salt, bit of pepper, ground cumin, about a tablespoon or so. And we want some oil and some Italian glaze. You can smell that. So on goes the Italian glaze. Give it a good bash together. I'll just stick a bit of oil in the wee little pan for it so they don't stick too much. Chuck some fresh thyme in. Smells lit. How come you could smell? Are you hiding somewhere? Maybe I need smell-o-vision. Alright. That's it. That's your cumin roasted carrots. Cumin and balsamic glazed roasted carrots. Absolutely a winner every time you have it. I do it all the time at home, every weekend whenever I have a roast. Still a bit warm. Again, because you're adding sugar, fucking pantry gnome, get out of me fucking pantry. Because you're cooking onion, which is quite a sugary vegetable, I would recommend, and you're adding balsamic glaze to it, which is basically more sugar. So I'd cover it and then just take the lid off for the last 20 minutes of cooking. Just because otherwise everything will burn. In you go, son. That oven's looking packed. Now, when you're doing any roast, don't skimp on the veggies. Make sure you do some green stuff too. I'll probably just have some microwave frozen peas. I was going to do some green beans, but I like my green beans with bacon. And there's already a shitload of bacon in this, so. Pardon him while I give everything a nice tidy little clean up, and we'll go back to the chopping board just briefly. A lot of parsley. A fuckload of parsley. We've done well. Everything's happening. Just clean everything up, and then we'll have a bit of a yarn about everything that I've done so far. Dishwasher on here in a minute. I went and messed up a couple of pans that I didn't need to. Note to self and everyone else, always think very carefully about exactly what you need to do a cooking video. Anyone got any questions? Stuff they'd like to discuss while we're having a quick clean up? Any suggestions? Tell me about your weekend. No? I am thinking about doing a dessert stream very soon. Or maybe just doing like a quick weekday meal, and then maybe like a rustic old school apple pie with handmade pastry or something like that. Maybe even apple crumble. Maybe even my signature dessert, my little invention, the Black Forest creme brulee. Nice French flavours there. Cherry, dark chocolate, and then presented French. Cook that. Yeah, it's a bit involved, but it's fun. Froze my ass off at the farm, had a couple of scotches, prepped some prints for clients. Sweet. Actually, you might be able to help me out, Subby. I've been trying to track down for a while now a set of like little garden fairy sculptures from My Neighbour Totoro. The kids and the missus are huge fans of Studio Ghibli films, and the kids are absolutely in love with Totoro, and I've been trying to dig up some little garden figurines so we can build a little fairy garden out the front. Not having much luck though. I haven't found any STL files that'll do the job. Just want a few of the characters from it and put them in a little fairy garden. We've got a little bird bath out the front that might do the job, but yeah, just been difficult to track something down. I can buy the set off Etsy, but I'm hesitant to buy stuff off of Etsy because I've been burned in the past. He's got to check the Magi. Check the Magi. If you're checking the Magi, ask them why the fuck they picked Shinji as a pilot in Evangelion. Sook. Bloody sook, that boy. Oh, that didn't take long. Might have a drink. So yeah, don't forget. Doesn't look like there's many strangers around today. It's a bit quiet in here. Don't forget to check out our Discord. I run a few dedicated servers for everyone to play on. We've just set up a Minecraft server, and we haven't got the details out to the rest of the Discord yet because Bucket might be streaming it tonight. So hang around for that. When I'm finished here, Bucket will be streaming some gaming later if he feels up to it. He just had his second COVID shot, so he's feeling a bit off. That, and he's had all the neighbourhood kids in his house all day annoying the crap out of him. You're a better man than I am, Bucket. You're a better man. You will be playing Minecraft? Sweet. Good. I think we're going to have a ball with it, man. It was fun. It's nice, light-hearted fun. Plus, I enjoy building stuff, so. Hey, thank you very much, Jackie boy. Ladies and gentlemen, Classic Jack, thank you for the $4.20 tip, mate. Love you, buddy. Here's to you. Oh. Ahoy, ahoy. All right. So yeah, guys, please, any questions? I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs waiting for something to finish cooking. So we've got the roast chook in. We've basted it. We've got the cumin roast carrots in. We've got the bacon roast baby spuds. Pan gravy. Got to wait a little while. I will explain what we're doing with the pan gravy. Basically, you make a roux. So, melt some butter in a pan or in a pot. Stir in enough flour so that it's got to be about equal parts butter to flour. You want it to start looking like a loose cookie dough, and you've got to sort of cook it just for a little bit on a medium-low heat until it looks like a loose cookie dough. But you've got to also fry the floury taste out of it, or it's not going to work properly. And then we're going to deglaze the pan that the chicken's been roasting in, and take all that stock and cider and all the fat and juices from the chicken, pour it straight into the pot. Hopefully the onion will be nice and soft and mushy as well, and that'll integrate into the sauce. And then we're just going to add some more chicken stock to it, some parsley just to make it look fancy, and that's it. It's amazing, tastes good. Speaking of roast chooks, I did That's What I Reckon's roast chook a little while ago. What was it? The Made You Look roast chook, which was orange stuffed chicken, glazed with orange juice and paprika and everything like that. It was really easy, so I thought, well, it's a good idea. Might do a quick roast chook. It's been a while since I've done one, but if you get a nice small one, always go for a small chook rather than a bigger chook. Don't, if you can help it, grab a bigger chook. Just get a little one. The smaller chooks more tender, more juicy, less likely to end up tough, and they tend to get a bit of a funny gamey taste to them when they get bigger. It's sort of like a boiler. They call them a boiler. Oh, thank you very much, Bucket. $5 from the Bucket Man. Champion. I just realised that for some reason my overlay's not on my kitchen cameras. I think I turned it off because it was in the way of some stuff. So, sorry about that. No fancy announcements or animations or anything, even though I know they're working. They just got in the way a little bit. But thank you, gentlemen, very much for the tips. That'll help out a lot to keeping our server running and keeping me in assorted beverages. Plus, it helps with the chicken bill. Anyone got any questions? I've just been waffling crap here for a while. I want some targeted questions. You know, anything. Knife care. Knife care. How to some hints on how to handle different types and cuts of meat. Lots of Totoro STL, not much of the rest of the cast. Okay. Well, mostly only after like Totoro and the other little forest trolls or whatever they are. Sharpening knife tips. I already gave a couple, but I'm happy to repeat them. Number one, always sharpen away or hone away from yourself. A lot of people do it this way. Nearly everyone does it this way. Don't. Doesn't make a difference. Both ways work. This is just safer. You have nothing to worry about whatsoever when you're honing a knife with the blade edge away from you. You're not going to accidentally cut your finger or thumb because you're gripping the knife the way you normally would, not back to front. I don't know how to get a good angle on that, but yeah, because you're gripping the knife the way you normally would hold it, which I always recommend, control it at the neck of the knife. I've got quite a large chef's knife. You have more control over the blade if you're holding it here. Takes a little bit of practice, but hone it away from yourself. Safer, works just the same. You can get a bit quicker because you haven't got to worry about your poor little fingers, anything like that. With the sharpening though, I would always recommend a bench stone, one that's got 2 different grits on it, so a smooth side and a rougher side. And trial and error. Everyone's got a different technique when it comes to the stones. Water, oil, doesn't really matter. All that's there for is to protect the metal. Just, you know, practice. Get a crap knife and practice it. Jack's having an ASMR orgasm there. How's that, buddy? Yeah. Might actually, this is a really good idea actually. When you're holding your knife, get a comfortable handle for a start. Fuck, this knife's heavy. Don't hold it here. You're not trying to you're not having a jerk, alright? Finger, thumb, right there. Across the neck of the blade, right there. So you've got all the, just nice and tight, relax the rest of your hand. You've got all the control you need that way. Because if you're gripping it like holy hell, like a motorbike handlebar, that's how you end up with RSI, that's how you end up with carpal tunnel. Just relax your hand. And I know this, I've spent 10 hours a day, 6 days a week for 14 years doing this shit. Just relax your hand. Didn't stop me thumb from getting all sorts of problems later on in life, but see, nice and relaxed. That way you can flick the knife if you need to cut. Just make sure that these fingers are holding nice and tight. Hey, found the cat bus. Yeah, the cat bus would be awesome. But yeah, controlled it. It takes a long time to get, don't mind me finger. That was actually a dishwashing accident. Nice and firm and tight here. This is where all your control is, because this is the pivot on the knife. This is where all the balance comes from. This end is a lot lighter than this end. A good balanced knife should have the balance right about there. Oop, I don't want to drop it, but yeah, it's pretty well balanced. But yeah, hold it there. You have more control. It's really good, for example, if you're coring an apple. All your control's there. You'll find it so much better. It does take a lot of practice though, because it will feel very foreign. Like trying to write left-handed if you're right-handed, for example. Yeah. It's a tool like any tool, but respect it. Always have a sharp knife. Sharp knives are safer than blunt knives. It's easier to stitch up a straight cut, that's why. And if you're not confident with knives, Victorinox, nice little serrated blade. These things are unreal. They're like 11 or 12 bucks each. They're so sharp. It's just a Victorinox petty knife. I've always got like 3 or 4 of them. 11 or 12 bucks. So sharp. I've actually opened cans with these. I don't care if you stuff them, because you buy 3 of them for 20 bucks and you can literally open a can with them. I gave one to a bloke who was doing a charity horse cart ride across the country to raise money for orphans and disadvantaged kids. And he had these dreadful pocket knives that made of cheap shit metal. And you couldn't cut anything with them. Anyway, his horse got haywire one time, because he told me on his return trip past the pub that I was working at that his horse got panicked one time, and he grabbed that Victorinox knife I gave him and he cut the reins in about 2 seconds flat. He said, "It's so good. I'm so glad you gave me those," and he thanked me for it on his return trip back past the pub. Yeah, yep, Victorinox. I've had about 9 of them over the years. These ones are a bit blunt because they keep getting chucked in the dishwasher. As I said, Victorinox knives are perfect for learning on. Made of great steel, good quality, really cheap. Don't put any knife in the dishwasher ever, unless it's a butter knife. If anyone stuck one of my chef, I have abused people for sticking my chef knives in the dishwasher. Stuff the Swiss knives, mate. Get German. Trident Wusthof, classic icon, mate. They are expensive, but they are the best for a reason. Japanese knives tend to be made of very soft metal. Yeah, don't put sharp knives. Don't put expensive knives in the dishwasher because it actually leaches some of the components in the metal out and ruins its ability to hold an edge. They'll just always be blunt. And it can ruin really good metal because it just tends to... Something in the chemicals in the dishwasher... Yeah, something in the chemicals in the dishwasher extracts some of the minerals from the metal they use and ruins the hardness. Same before. Stone sharpening knives. I haven't got any tips for you. Don't use bench sharpeners if you can help it because you'll end up with a... I've got a really, really good Japanese knife that I used for like the first 8 to 10 years of my career. And it's a big rectangular bladed thing like this. And I went away on holidays, left it in the kitchen of the restaurant I was running. And someone's husband had been in and bench sharpened it. So instead of the blade being a nice, just gentle curve, like you could barely even notice it, it ended up concave like this. So I couldn't cut anything. Nice and sharp, but the blade was concaved. Yeah, so you don't get an even finish on it. I've been trying for years to fix that knife. I've basically just about ground the blade down to a nub, trying to straighten it out, and it always ends up with bumps. And just hand wash, hot water, sponge on a stick. Hot water, sponge on a stick, so you keep your hand away from it. Don't scrub the sharp end because the burr on the blade is always very, very fragile. Don't do anything to that. Don't abuse your knives like I do. If you've got cheap knives, by all means abuse the fuck out of them. What's that? What are the best? And I have 7? Oh yeah, the sponge brush, mate. Yeah, don't stick them in the sink. I always find mine in the sink. Also, this is a good size too. It's a little 15 centimeter chef's cook's knife. It's a Messermeister San Moritz Elite. They don't make them anymore. Very similar grade of steel to the Trident Wusthoffs. They're a lot lighter. They use a different manufacturing method and the knives are very light. This one was great. Only problem is that someone dishwashed it and I haven't been able to get the edge back again either. And it was about 170 bucks. So I'm not scared to put a bit of pressure on that because it's completely blunt. Such a sad, sad day that was. Yeah, you could probably lick it. You would lick it. I dare you to lick my chef knife. Alright, let's give the chook a quick baste because I know everyone's here to see the chook. Get me one. Alright. Switch the camera over to the Mick Chook. That looks fucking mint. Look at that. That is getting there. But as you can see, when you stick butter in the skin, you get air pockets under there and the skin tends to burn a little bit. It's not burnt, it looks worse on the camera than it actually is. It smells good too, it smells real good. Anyway, we're just going to tip all that juice down the end a bit. Give it the moistening. I'm such a dad. The moistening. Smells good too. Smells real good, Jack. And this was only a little chook. When they cook, they tend to swell up a bit because in this one there's nothing but air in it really, and a lemon. But I think we might zest that up a bit. Get out of me cupboard bucket. We're just going to squirt some more lemon on it, mostly because I just want that lemon flavour in the sauce a little bit. What are you doing? Get off there. Fucking seeds in me chicken. Jesus. I might let that go without the foil for a wee bit. Just check on the cumin roasted carrot while I'm down here, and the spuds, because I'm going to have to rearrange everything in the oven to get everything to cook evenly. I wouldn't be hanging around the bottom of that cupboard, man. Don't know where it's been. Alright. Oh, mate. Yeah, it's a seedy chicken. I'm a seedy cook. Up all night playing fucking Minecraft. I can get a life, chef. Let's put that in there. And I just want to give these bacon roasted veggies a quick toss around. Because all the water's come out. All the stock's still sitting in there, and it's going to go on the top shelf for a bit. Oh, that smells good too. Yeah, I think you just woke up. Doing the fucking shuffle. In there. You can go there. You can go up. Ooh, that's a bit warm. Up there. Hey! Stuck me microphone in the bloody oven again. Whoops. Alright. Keep the foil aside. Potatoes! Yeah, of course you'd be back for the bacon potatoes, wouldn't you, subby? Someone's been clipping. I see what you did there. Alright. Just give this a quick refresh. Switch back to that. Alright, any more questions while I'm dicking around? Waiting for things to finish cooking. Ninja kicking my cupboards. Beer recommendations. I don't drink much beer these days anymore. I really liked White Rabbit Dark Ale. If you're ever in Newcastle, yeah, I drink a lot of cider these days. Mercury cider, or Lord have mercy on me, because it's black and it's double strength. Yeah, White Rabbit Dark Ale is really, really nice. I love it. If you're ever in Newcastle, the Old Kent Hotel on Beaumont Street. It's probably one of the last pubs in town you can get Old Kent Brown Ale, which is a really old-fashioned Aussie tap beer. Looks like dirty water. That's right, don't be knocking the black cans. But yeah, the Old Kent Hotel on Beaumont Street in Newcastle. food's not much to write about. It was okay. Um, pub's just fun for people watching because you get all the old sort of all the old retired Italian granddads and stuff like that hanging around. So talking Italian, talking Greek. Um, yeah, it's a nice old pub. Yeah, but the Old Kent, what's it called, the Kent Old Brown Ale. It's between like a black ale and a normal lager. So it looks like dirty water. It's not dark. It's not dark enough to be a black, and it's not light enough to be like a draft beer or a lager, just a plain lager. So it just looks like brown river water, really, but it tastes so good. You can't help yourself. You probably get dysentery from drinking it, but it tastes so good. Some good uses for some dark beer in cooking. I use something like I would use something like a White Rabbit dark ale if I was doing braised beef short ribs, for example. I'd braise them in the oven in a pot in dark ale and golden syrup until you end up with a nice caramelly. You get a nice caramelly sauce off of it. Yeah, you got to. Beaumont Street's unreal, mate. I could have spent a week just wandering around Beaumont Street. We're only up there for about a night or two. But yeah, there's all sorts of nooks and crannies and dodgy dives and cheap bakeries and bookshops, and there's about 3 taco stands, 3 taco shops, yep, and there was 2 kebab shops that are open 24/7. I know where to find me kebabs. Yeah, there's brothels, there's all sorts of shit. Beaumont Street's a weird place. It's like the dark, seedy sort of like. It's not as dirty as like King's Cross used to be. It's just, you know, a bit on the low end of the B grade as far as Newcastle goes. But it's, you know, you find all the good stuff in the divey spots, really. Anywhere where you can get a taco and a dark ale is good by me. There was a couple of really nice restaurants on Beaumont Street as well. Dumpling Story, could not believe it. $80 for 6 of us, and I think we had about 7 or 8 dishes between us for $80, and the table would have buckled under the weight of all the homemade dumplings and noodles and stuff like that, and it was just unreal. They make them right there on the spot. I've never seen so many dumplings. It was a two-page menu of dumplings and soups. And it is the best I've ever had. And it's straight across the road from the Old Kent. Yeah. The girls loved the Dumpling Story. Yeah. You know, get shit-faced on dysentery water and then go and have a big feed of dumplings. I couldn't believe it. There were couples there that had that much food. Their table was groaning. I couldn't fathom how they put it all away. But yeah, 6 of us, 8 dishes, $80 or something like that, and we couldn't eat it all. And then there's another bar up there, and I think it's called Gentleman Jack. Believe it or not, there's another little like open bar on Beaumont Street where they do their own homemade, like in-house made craft ales and sort of like pub food. Yeah, I think it was called Gentleman Jack's or something like that, or it was the Brothers Grimm. It was called Brothers Grimm. Dark redwood sort of style bar. Really nice onion rings, homemade chili jam, about 30 different ales on tap, most of them with their own. So that was pretty good. Nice little craft beer joint. And speaking of craft beer joints, there's a really, really nice local joint here. I actually talked to the owner a few times, but I didn't want to get into bar work again. All regional ales, and he even got a guy on a farm producing their own gins. Yeah, you remember it? Yeah, that place was cool. Brothers Grimm was good. Yeah, if you're local, you'll know what I'm talking about. The Welder's Dog here. Those guys are a class act. The guy who runs it's a science teacher, or was a science teacher. They don't really do any food. Like they have like a Nibblies fridge, and you can go and make your own platter up of locally sourced cheeses and salamis and stuff. And I'm all about the food. Yeah, yeah. But the Welder's Dog, and they've got a direct from the brewery shop as well in Armidale, so you can buy it from the door of the brewery. They have some really, really interesting beers, but they do their own. They source their own locally made gins and vodkas and spirits as well. There's another older gentleman out up the hill way that does them. Yeah, yeah, he's good. I love the van. I had a chat to the bloke a couple of times because he wanted to put me on as a supervisor or something like that, but I ended up getting offered a job managing another venue, and that turned into a shit fight. And he did say to give me a call. We do talk every now and then, text and stuff like that. But he hit me up again a little while ago, probably about 9 or 10 months ago, and I had to say no because I moved out of cooking altogether, which was for the best. But yeah, nice local place. There's not too many of them around here. People aren't very adventurous with their food around here either, which is a bit annoying. And suffer. Get out of me bin. Now I'm doing the dirty bit. What the hell is this? Look at this. Frozen corn with corn husk. Mmm. Oh, fine. Fine. Yeah. What the fuck's going on there? There's some frozen corn husks in here. Yep. Always have something nice and green with anything you eat. I'm not a fan of shitting myself on the regular. So, just at least have some broccoli or something. I don't like shitting myself on the regular, so make sure you get some fibre into your diet. Oh, I'm a bad man. Alright, I am going to have to prick the chicken. That sounds funny too. In the tucker fucker. I am going to have to prick the chicken and see where it's at. Jack's internet died. Oh, I'm still here, buddy. We're still here for you, mate. He will return. God bless old Jack. Alright. I'm going to have to prick the chook. I don't want to keep pulling it out, but I've got to prick it. I've got to find out where it's at. Ooh. Are you for real? Big Bird's not far off. God bless him. Shut up, microwave. So the chook's not far off. It's sitting at about 60 to 65 degrees, so it'd probably be another 20 minutes. While that's going on, we might have to start thinking about the sauce. There it is. Saucy. Don't really need to do the sauce just yet. I'm jumping the gun, but we can get everything ready to go for it. Butter. Butter. What did Subby do today? Pop. I'm always a bit nasty to the butter. Always throwing it around and doing not nice things to the butter. Here's some flour I prepared earlier. Ooh. Oof, that was a big frame drop. No, still good. Fucking laptop. Alright, so we got some flour, got some butter. Oh, delicious. Mix up some stock again. There. So do I. Monday sucks. I had a massive friggin' week at work this week. Or last week. Massive. But I have managed to secure for a customer an AMD RX 6700 XT graphics card. So that's my job on Monday. Seeing what I can overclock on it on air before I give it back to him. So I might have to move these up in the corner for a wee bit. Got a good price on it too on the graphics card. I'm not real impressed though. It could be better. But the price from our supplier was pretty reasonable. And I rang the boss of their company because I've got a bit of a personal relationship with him and asked him to hold it. The latest he'd hold it till is Monday morning, so I hope that my boss actually paid for it, or we're not going to see that graphics card at all. And this guy's paid in advance for this graphics card. Can't wait to play with it though, it's going to be fun. So here we all are, sitting or standing like me, waiting for chef to actually do something. But this is what happens when you're a cook. You get everything ready too quick and then you're just standing there going, suppose I should drink then. You're shitting? Well, you are sitting technically, but this is the thing that annoys me when you're like, if if you're catering like for an event and you get to the point when you're preparing everything for say 150 people or something like for a wedding, and you're standing there twiddling your thumbs, then you didn't do enough. If you're catering for someone and you're standing there waiting for something like I am right now, you could have done a lot more. Smash a tinny. Yeah, that's the problem. You get everything in, and I know round about what time everything's going to come out. So it's just do what housewives and house dads do when they've got nothing else to do. For a nice refreshing taste, drink Mercury cider. Yeah. You know when everything's coming out and you're sort of, I know what order I've got to prep everything in. I know when I've got to put the potatoes and the pumpkin and the carrots on and what I've got to do to get them all to come out sort of ready at the same time. I know, right? Mercury cider. I swear I'm not going to cut my fingers off if I get pissed. Already did that. Alright. Suppose I can do... that was my camera. Fuck. You ain't driving in. Oh, hang on. Are you okay in there, Bucket? You're a bit blue in the face. Have a drink, Bucket. Don't touch the bin, Bucket. Alright, I think I fucked something up here. Alright, we'll get the roux started. Wonder if that's going to be enough butter. Yep, should be. Mate, that bin's clean. The only thing in it is an onion. Oh, look. I did, and that's what I reckon. I turned the wrong burner on. Whoops. Note to self, don't touch the left burner. So anyway, anyone else done any cooking? Subby usually does a bit of cooking. I should do some braised beef, short ribs at some time while it's still cold. So the braised beef short ribs are usually like a dark ale or a black beer, golden syrup, some garlic, onion, and some beef short ribs. You're gonna have a bacon sandwich. The bacon's in the fridge, mate. You good? Bacon's in the fridge. You might be a little bit short. It looks like you're in there too. Look right here. There'll be roast chicken left in the fridge for you, mate. Don't worry. But yeah, just do some beef short ribs. I braise them. I get the butcher to cut them up into chunks about yay big, the beef short ribs. Chuck them in a pot. You're behind all the nags. You are a nag. Put them in a pot with onions, garlic, turnips nice in there, and just cover them in dark beer and like 2 tablespoons of golden syrup, and then just braise them. Just magic. Just cook them until all you got left is like a dark beer golden syrup on the bottom, and then just give them a little bit of a smoosh and just eat them. Alright, we got some butter happening. That's a lot more butter than I thought it was. So we're going to make a pan gravy. This is not going to end well. Hold up. Oh, yes. Oh, no. Chooky's getting a bit dark on top. This is enough butter, yes. Yes, it is. Ah, no, she's right. And we'll just drop a little bit of flour in there. I want it to look a little bit like wet cookie dough. So equal parts flour to butter is usually the rule. Now this is the most important technique or base sort of process or prep as far as sauces go. Hey, Viper's back. What you doing, buddy? Oh yeah, the chook smells great, man. It smells really good. There we go. See, it looks a little bit like a paste a bit. This is one of the most important things in cooking. Just about every sauce that you make from scratch. There we go. There's some corn. More corn hanging off there. But yeah, there we go. Should be a little bit grainy looking. There we're good. Making a roux from scratch is, I'll reiterate it again, one of the most important processes in cooking. Just about every sauce or gravy, even marinades, are based off of it. Bechamel, white sauce, creme anglaise is very similar, except you're tempering your eggs first and then pouring them in to make like a custard. But always equal parts butter and flour, and then just let it fry off. It's starting to bubble a bit now, so I'll drop the heat. You just want to cook the flour off so it doesn't taste like, you don't want it to taste like flour, so you just got to cook it for a little bit. And I've got a whisk. Look what my kids did to my whisk. Not happy, Jan. Not happy. Alright. Let's get nice and fried looking. I'm going to stop it there. And I'm going to add some stock to it. And then we'll thicken that up a little bit. With my mangled, with my mangled whisk. It's the problem, if your whisk is stuffed, things just fly everywhere and it doesn't whisk correctly. There we go. Now there is also the school of thought that you should, when you're making a gravy, you should let the flour. Yeah, I can buy a new one. I get one of those little tiny Babish ones, man. There is a school of thought on gravy that you should let it, let the milk solids in the butter brown. And that's how you get a really nice, dark, rich brown gravy. You just let the butter burn a little bit when you're making the sauce, but it won't matter too much. There we go. Look at that. Looks like toothpaste. Giant man cooks with tiny whisk. Yes. I had, actually, one of the jobs I had, I worked in a boutique cooking school as a kitchen assistant and as a shop boy, like, because we stocked all expensive cooking equipment. And we had these tiny whisks, and I thought they were amazing, and I bought one. This was probably 10 or 12 years ago or more. So I had a tiny whisk before Babish. It's gone now. But that shop was awesome. I'll keep the butter because I'll need to temper the sauce with it. Alright. Oh. I've got to cover that chook again because it's getting a bit black. No, it's just the marinade that's getting a bit black. It's fine. You really shouldn't muck with things in the oven. I'm just being impatient. Boutique whisk for the win, alright, man. Stick it back in there. Yep, that's good. Shouldn't be long, actually. Really shouldn't be long, about 10 minutes. Yeah. As long as I stop opening the oven up. Getting high off your cock drops. Mate, what's it called? Yeah, that's fine, mate. That's good. I'll, you'll have to tell me how to do a raid because I'm not sure how to do that from here. Not sure at all. No, what was it called? I was trying to think of Irish moss. It's called Irish moss. Don't drive anywhere if you've been drinking Irish moss cough medicine. It's bad. It's like having a shot of Jägermeister. All right, and just yeah, sweet, cool. Juvenile bucket 1. That's what I'm looking for, isn't it? Cool. Just check me dizzy. Yeah, we're happy. Juvenile bucket. Right, I'll copy that. Just what? Anything chat for printer fep? I don't think so, bucket. Oh. Raid. Do I need to put the name in parenthesis or just as is? As is. Sweet. Cool. Done. Ready to go for that. Speaking of printers, printers are one of the devices. Yeah. Yeah, sweet. Printers are one of those devices that you should always keep a loaded pistol next to, because if it starts making funny noises or fucking with shit, just shoot it and get another one. Just shoot it. If you're an IT technician and you're paranoid as fuck about cybersecurity like I am, get a bat and keep it next to the printer. Printers are actually notorious for being a weak spot in your home network, like your Wi-Fi network as well. Because if someone's got the IP or the connection details for the printer, they can connect directly to it and get your Wi-Fi password. So if it starts making funny noises, just bash it to death. As I said, if it starts making... Yeah, exactly. 3D printers are fine. I think there's a little bit more engineering goes into a 3D printer and security, but yeah, Wi-Fi printers can be a little bastard. People can pick your Wi-Fi password up off of them if they know what they're doing, because they store them in a really, really basic small cache, so there's not a lot of data they have to go through to find it. But I mean, that that also means that they have to know what they're doing to get it. So they really have to know what they're doing to get it. That'd be the worst troll ever because it'd take like what 16 hours or something to print a big sucker. Imagine all that wasted bloody material. God. One of those big dragon ones. I'd want to know who the prick was that hacked my printer. Someone hacked my 3D printer, I'd want to know about it. A Moby Huge, yeah, that's right. The Great White Huge. Alright, come on, you bastard. Maybe I should have done a desert this video too. So what's is Viper running around in our Minecraft server building a house, or? I should check the server. Just hold on 2 seconds because I can see if he's on there. I might be able to kick him just for shits and giggles. Just wait. Yeah, he must be on mobile or something. I don't know what he's doing. I just checked the log and it's like Phase Viper connected, disconnected, connected, disconnected, connected, disconnected. It happened about 10 times. And then there was a good half an hour there and it just says Phase Viper disconnected. There's just like a run for about an hour of him connecting and disconnecting. He disconnects every time he goes in Discord. How come? That's weird. Was he on a mobile or mobile hotspot, or on his phone? Or mobile internet? He's on Wi-Fi, alright. So he can't join on the Xbox. Well, the server's set up to, because it's a Bedrock edition, it's compatible with mobile, 360, Xbox One, I think, and the new Xboxes as well, and something else as well. Yeah. Fucking Xboxes, mate. They're just a laptop in a plastic case, really. Very hush-hush about what graphics cards they're using in the PS5 and the new Xbox. He spent like an hour looking at it. He probably needs to just renew his Xbox Live membership or whatever. Probably something stupid like that. I might crank up the temp a bit more. Just because I'm getting impatient. Yeah. Weird one then. I haven't mucked around with Xboxes since the sort of the end of the 360 days, so I'm not real up on problems with Xbox Live, even though you technically have Xbox Live installed natively in Windows 10. So, but I mean, he's a kid, so don't let him have a PC just yet. No, thanks, mate. I had a 360. I gave it away. House rules: we're not allowed to have consoles in this house unless they're like a Game Boy. Yeah, that's right. Too much porn on these webs. Come on, chicken. This is a bummer. Sitting here waiting for a chicken. Yeah. I'm a poke it. Here's the cheat sheets, mate. Like 20 bucks at Woolies. Yeah, boy. Oh, so close. So close. What came first, chicken or the egg? Alright. Here's my take on that, mate. You had to evolve the ability to have eggs in the first place. So, chicken, metaphorically, could have been anything. But I do believe you had to evolve the ability to lay eggs first before that became a part of your reproductive system. No. Before that, think further back. The first aquatic animals on the planet were most likely microbes and amoebas and things like that. Yep. That's why everyone just goes, who came first, chicken or the egg? And all the debate goes, well, dinosaurs laid eggs and stuff like that. The first animals to start reproducing on the planet did it by cellular mitosis, so they were dividing. And then when they finally evolved to the point where they became fish, the first sort of primitive fish gave birth to live young. And they actually traced our DNA back to these fish. Yeah. Anyway, they didn't lay eggs, they had live births. And it wasn't until later on that other aquatic life evolved the ability to lay eggs. So first, was procreation by cellular division, and second was procreation by live birth. Then we evolved the ability to have eggs. No one thinks to look back further than the dinosaurs for the answer. And then you got crazy shit like platypuses, who are technically a mammal, but they lay eggs. Mammals all give live birth. Not platypus. That shouldn't be long. Oh, it's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. So yeah. Nice little debate about what comes first, chicken or the egg. What other big topics you got for us? Knife care? We've done that. Chickens are poisonous? We've done that. What temp's the cock meant to be at? The chicken is cooked when it's at 75 degrees in the thickest parts. The legs are already there. It's just the breasts are about 65 to 66, so they shouldn't be too long. They've gone up about 10 degrees in the last 10 minutes, so it shouldn't take long now. Beard care. I don't look after my beard, mate. at all. I used to use argan oil and I used to brush it in, comb it in, but it got a bit greasy and I didn't like it. I've had this thing since I was 18. Literally, the whole lot since I was 18. The reason why my beard doesn't get any longer is because it gets brittle. And I just get shits and I just cut it off. The missus wanted me to grow it a bit longer so that we could plait it. But yeah, it just gets too brittle because I don't look after it. And if it's too long, you can't work in a kitchen. Your beard needs to go every 2 days. I didn't even know you grew facial hair. What, to grow me beard all the way? What am I, a whore? Yeah, righto, I'll do it. It means I've got to buy argan oil. Fuck. It's going to take ages because I get the shits with it because it makes me like chest itchy when I'm trying to sleep. And I just go. But yeah. I do sleep. All the fucking time. What's funny is just about every time you're streaming, like on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, I sit down and start watching you, get in the comments and everything, and then all of a sudden, I'm asleep at like 7:30 or 8 o'clock on my chair, and I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? All the time. Get on there to support me, mate, and my narcolepsy interferes. Right, so we've only got to talk shit for another, like, 5 minutes. Yeah, I know. It's like, I just fall asleep with the stream right in front of me at like 8 o'clock, 7:30 or 8 o'clock after work. Just. It was really funny before I got diagnosed with narcolepsy. I'd be sitting at the table after cooking dinner, and I'd sit down and have dinner, or the missus cooked dinner, I just got home from work, I'd sit down and have dinner, and I'd literally fall asleep, like, with the fork in my hand, like that, all the time. Yeah, all the time. I'd just be sitting there like with a bowl of cornflakes, scoop of cornflakes. Yeah, oh mate, I am sweating like a pig in this kitchen. Yeah, you Bucket, you were broken. You've been broken for a while, mate. What have you done to yourself? Alright. Mate, since my partner and I've been together, I'd like in the first like couple of months we were together, yeah, that COVID shot did knock you around. I've dropped our dog on its head like 3 times when it was a pup. No wonder he's mental. Shut up. He's mental. It's because I kept dropping him on his head because he just wriggle all the time when you'd have him. Because he was only like this big when we got him. He just bounce, boing, 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 and then next thing you know, 3 times. And we got him desexed. He had stitches, and he was still jumping 4 foot in the air with stitches. He's just got no brains. We had to chain him up at one place we lived at because he'd just get out. He was literally physically climbing the fences. You know, like we put chook wire fences up to keep him in, and he would climb them like this. So we put him on a chain to try and keep him in the yard. He climbed the fence. I got home from work, and I could hear this dog go. He'd hung himself over the fence. He's He's probably been deprived of oxygen for 45 minutes. The little bastard. We got him out of there. He was fine. He was stuck in the fence, so he couldn't. It didn't let him fall down far enough to choke, which I was really freaked out. I piss bolted when I heard him. I knew exactly where he was and what had happened, and he had. Yeah, he was an idiot. He climbs fences. He can't dig a hole. He will not dig a hole to get out at all. But he will climb a fence to get out. And he's only little. I feel like I've got to look like I'm doing something. I feel like I'm at work. Your dog thinks he's a cat. Your dog doesn't look anything like a cat, though. Like, that's a brutal looking animal, but he's an absolute pet. Yeah, it's hard when you're in the gear. Actually, I think I'm going to get out of this apron that I've got on though. He moves. Oh. Yeah, I think you got a bit of a fever, Bucket. By the sounds of that. A couple of Panadols, mate, will help get that under control. Whew. Yeah, well, I just had Ginger Pubes barking at me. I think he could hear me saying that he has brain damage. So he said, "Shut up! I can hear you talking about me in there. Shut up!" Yeah, Panadol, only Coke. What do I call it? Canopian battle powder, mate. Canopian battle powder. Oh, we're so close, Bucket. Pure white snow. Alright, Chucky Boy can actually come out. Chucky Boy's ready. And we're just going to stick the veggies in here for a touch longer. Oh, yeah. She's looking good. I'm going to let the meat rest. But, oh yeah. We're going to pour all of the pan juices out of the pan. Make some glorious gravy. Oh God, yeah, look at that. Now I'm just going to chuck the foil over the Chucky so I can give it a good rest. Yeah, once I've given it a rest, so by the time the veggies are done, it should be ready to carve, because you need to let it, because it's a protein, you need to let it reabsorb some of the moisture from cooking. And yeah, it needs a bedtime story, it does. Dear chicken, we love you. We've waited a long time for you. And I'm sure the kids are going to devour you, and I'm going to have no chicken for work tomorrow. Amen. Good night. No, we're going to get this gravy going. Oop. So we've already got the roux in there. just reheating the roux up, and we're incorporating all the stuff out of the pan into it. So I poured all the juices out of the pan. This is how you get that nice golden, slightly brown chicken gravy. It's sex on a plate. Give it a good stir because I hate lumpy gravy. Oh, it smells good. Wow. And I'm just going to pull the onion out. Whoop, and give it a cheeky dice so that it breaks up a bit more in there. Because that onion will be really nice and sweet. Sex on a plane? I said sex on a plate. I'm just going to give this onion that came out of the pan a little chop chop. Once there was a chicken, I cooked it. Alright. Should have showed you that. There we go. Because it's hot. We've got our onion paste here out of the pan. That's how you make mince. Literally, that's how, if you add some chicken thighs, that's how you make chicken mince. Bash it like that. Straight back in the pot. Give me a knife a wash because we're going to use that to carve the chookie. Got to use me good knife. No, I don't need to put it in the blender. I like a little bit of chunk. Got to have a little bit of chunk, mate. And that'll thicken up nice in a minute. Just got to keep whisking it so it doesn't end up lumpy. Yeah, I don't like putting hot things in the blender. Blender cooking's all the rage these days, mate, but I don't like putting hot things in the blender. I've had nearly all the skin burned off of my right arm, and I nearly lost a nipple because of someone moving hot liquids around the kitchen rather quickly. Yeah, don't like blenders and hot liquid. Come on, baby. That's getting nice and hot. Taste for seasoning. Yeah, nearly lost the nipple. Suffice to say that apprentice only lasted 2 weeks. Yeah, it needs to get hotter. More lemon, don't be scared. Oh, that's going to hurt my cut so bad. Yep, and I just squeeze that lemon with my mangled finger. The one that's like shredded to pieces. Guess what? I can't feel anything. Can't feel anything. Alright. So get some parsley out. Stick that in once the gravy's nice and thick. I'll use the tucker fucker to finish my veggies. Veggies are in. Let me have a look at these other suckers. Oh. That one's done. Find the potatoes need a wee bit longer. Come on, baby. Oh, look at that. Have a look, see here. See what we got. Ooh, that's got some zest. A little bit of garlic. Tiny bit more salt. A little bit of paprika. Oh yeah, that looks like gravy now, boy. You want to see me assault the food? I'll assault the food. I'm gonna slap that bird. Sorry, Twitch. Sorry, Twitch. Alright. So we got our cumin roasted balsamic carrots. Caramelised onion, absolutely delicious. Spuds are just about to come out. Gravy's done. Now the last step. Looks pretty shiny because of all the juices and the fats that are coming out of the chicken. But whenever you do a roux or a white sauce, there's a technique called mounting, where you put cold butter in a hot liquid that's just coming off the boil, and give it a stir and let it cool down with the butter. The little tiny bit of butter will actually, it's called mounting. You mount the sauce. It'll make it go all glossy and shiny like it is now. See? Look at that. That's a mounted sauce. And it'll actually thicken it. So now it's all glossy. A little tiny bit of butter at the end when you're making a roux sauce. It's just the technique. We call it mounting, or a mount. It just glazes the sauce and makes it look more presentable and shiny. I think it's just from the fat and the butter, but it's a presentation thing. I mean, it doesn't hurt to add butter to anything. Anything you add butter to is going to taste awesome. I mean, look at me. But yeah, mounting sauce with butter. Good idea. I think the veggies are ready too. All right. All right. Now we got our bacon roasted baby potatoes and pumpkin. They smell divine. And the best thing is, because you use the stock for because you use the stock to sort of simmer them in. You're picky lactose intolerant. But because we mounted the veggies in a stock, the bacon's not burnt. The tops of the veggies are crispy and the bottoms are soft and moist, and you've got this nice little sort of like a drizzle over the top of bacon and herbs and a little bit of stock. And they're nice and springy, they're not overcooked. Check that out. bacon. Alright. Pièce de résistance. Everyone's here to see me butcher the chicken anyway, not the turkey, the chicken. We're just gonna quickly garnish everything. The wife will appreciate it. I don't think she doesn't care really, she just wants to eat it. And we'll just stir a bit of... Yeah, you're a turkey, I know, you were born a turkey. We're all turkey, garble garble. There we go. Looks a bit like Diane sauce really. Oh shit, that hurt. Ouch. But that's why you got jackets for. Double-breasted chef jacket. Saved my left nipple once. Alright. Let's carve chicken. This is going to get real naughty real quick too, trust me. It's going to be real naughty. Tongs. I apologise to everyone in advance. We're now entering explicit content area. The explicit content area. Oh God, you see the juice running out of the skin. Oh, mate. That is just so soft. So juicy. I'm going to put it back in here. Wow. Really lemony. It's like putty, mate. Just like putty. Alright. Still got one more step to go. We're operating. Pull the herbs. Pull the lemon. It smells like, oh, it smells good. Now, I know I'm naughty. I'm so naughty. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is my roast chicken. Oh. Yum. I also recommend you cook some balsamic roasted carrots. Anyway guys, I'm going to jump off. Are you set up, Bucket? We might do a raid. Wait for me, give me 5. Righto. So I'm pretty sure I've made a real big mess here though, because I actually put the pot on the wet chopping board because I was too excited and wanted to cut the chicken. So I might have made a mess here. Could be bad. Now look guys, it's really simple, really easy roast chicken recipe to do. Takes less time to cook things, if you're not constantly getting frustrated and impatient like I get. That's why I cook everything on really high heat, because getting impatient waiting for the chicken to be done, and it's only supposed to take 1 hour and 15 minutes for a chicken that size. But I was constantly opening the oven all the time. So that's what happens. He's a naughty chef, bad. Leave it alone, just baste it occasionally. Alright. So we'll get the whole spread up here in a second. So I've got my dirty wet chicken. It's absolutely moist as. I know that's a bad word, but it's moist. We got our bacon, roasted potato, baby potatoes and pumpkin. And these little guys look the part. Absolutely gorgeous. They smell like bacon. And we've got our cumin roast carrots and caramelised onion. It's a big family favourite, that one. I cook it every roast. You're up? Alright. And we got some nice gravy. So I'm going to do a naughty bucket. The lemon went through everything. Absolutely delicious. Very, very zingy. No no heat from the brine I did last night, the hot sauce brine, but that's fine. Alright. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I'll try and let everyone know a little bit ahead of time what I'm going to do next Sunday, just depending on how cold it is. Might go back to the barbecue, don't know. Alright, I'm suggesting everyone to go check out my mate Juvenile Bucket. He's about to start a Minecraft stream on my dedicated server at home. So if you want to get in on that, off you go. 2 viewers ready to raid. You beauty. Raid now. We in, boy. Yeah, make sure to check us out. Feel free to join our Discord. Really look forward to doing the next one. Maybe might do a pie next time. Don't know. Thank you very much, guys. I'll talk to you probably later. I might even join Bucket in Minecraft. We'll see.